You guys know what I'm about to say, so roll the intro. Okay, so the F18 just landed today. There's no tracking. So I basically have no idea what the package is until it's ready to deliver. So, I just randomly got the call like today. There we go. First off, we have a manual. Charging cable, 151 volt, 10 amps charger. This is basically a fast charger. It's a 10 amp charger. So they have the speaker modules and they are housed separately. So it's not attached to the wheels in the first place. Interesting. I think that's about it. Let me pull this cardboard box off. Well, I really like the way they package this wheel, by the way. It's very modular. It's very easy to unbox. Shock pumps, well, they look like Beidou pads, but I guess these are made for Kingsong only. First off, you guys can see immediately my F18 have a street tire. So I think they ran out of the knobby tire options. So they asked me if I want, this or the hybrid street tire, the same one as the Kingsong S22 have. So I said I'll go with this one. This is a TNT tubeless tire. It's definitely, this is my first time seeing this, but it is an 80/90/14. Judging by the wheel well, this wheel definitely can support 90/90. S22 headlights, and also a really beefy headlight on the top. This is not the same one as the F22 Pro. This is a lot beefier. Also a lot more plasticky because there's a matte plastic and there's a glossy plastic. The buttons also plastic. And looking from the sides, you have the pedals. This is the same pedals as the S22. There's some scratch here, but I guess that's just, it happens. Whatever. This pedal does have a slight clicking noise, similar to the Librachem wheel. And on the side, oh, that's a lot of hex bolts. Jesus. 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 24 hex bolts on the center alone. Charge ports. Charge port is on this side. This is a GX25, similar to the other 151 volt wheels. Probably the same pinout too, so you can use the same adapter and charger as the as the Lynx and the Sherman L on this wheel. 4 suspensions adjustments. I have no clue what this is. Why is there a seal here? Whatever. Aside from that, we have the trolley handle. Why is this so small? Yeah, the trolley handle is a little too small. And then on the rear, we have the orange plastic piece here, and the tail light is integrated into this plastic piece. All right, so I've put the wheel on its face just to show you guys the back end of the wheel. First off, we have the phase cable. This is one of the most advertised feature on the F18, which is the Hall sensor is now on the outside instead, which means that we can remove it and then drop the motor very quickly. Now, if the back end looks a bit empty to you guys, this is because this is where the speakers are supposed to go. So if I take one of these speakers and I think it goes this way, and I just put them right here, you can see that they align with the screw holes, and that's how you add your speakers. Now, these speakers are pretty hefty. I think they weigh almost a pound each. I wish that they'd make the mudguard slightly wider, but I guess that they have concern about it rubbing onto the inside of the wheel. But maybe at least flare out this part a little bit so that it catches, a little bit more dirt and mud. One thing I don't like is this kickstand here. As you can see, it's one unified plastic piece going all the way from the bottom to the top. And if I take this off, the whole thing come off, including the rear trolley handle. But if we keep this on, then it would interfere with the pad placement. So you can see on the side here, we cannot really, our pad doesn't go all the way into the back end or like that. It can't. And on the bottom, we have an air chamber. Oh, they are pre-pumped to 80 PSI. Let me read the manual. Okay, so on the manual it says 50 psi for below 70 kilos, 100 psi for 70 to 80. Okay, so I think I'm going to just install the speakers. Interestingly, there are screws here, but there are no tools included. So, you know, bring your own hex keys. All right, so speakers are on. Let me bring the wheel back up. You can see like on the back side, it's a lot more extended. It look less like a Lynx. Another thing I forgot to mention is just how nice these handles, you know, look and feel. This is what I like about Kingsong. They know how to make these handles right. You must plug the charger in first. So let me just go do that. So 77%, I think that's fine. I don't think we need to keep charging. Let me unplug. Let's see what the screen say. It just makes a sound when it turns off. Okay, so let's turn the wheel on. Did I see the lock symbol? Oh God, all right. Time to download the Kingsong app. Similar to how other brands have, you know, like transport modes, this one is just complete lockdown. You know, until you connect to the app. So I download the Kingsong app. I just go to connect device, look for the wheel. You see the wheel pops up here, just connecting. And it is connected. That beeps. And that means the wheel is, update. So first off, this headlight here, like I said, bigger than F22 Pro. I think this will be very, very bright. You're gonna see my hand right here. This is gonna be pretty bright. It's also running very hot. I can already feel the heat from the chassis itself. I'm not sure if this is gonna be a problem. But yeah, two modes, white light, yellow light, and then white lights with the both bottom lights on as well. So that's very cool. I think you can also customize to have like these two lights on permanently, and this light is like adjustable. Okay, so I want to try the stock pads first, but yeah, these pads are a little on the thinner side, which is interesting. The rear pads have like these little cutouts to accommodate the side piece, so you can actually kind of just put them on. Okay, so you can see the pads are on, but you can see these bolts here. They are blocking the pads from going further forward. Yeah, probably like that. A lot better now. I'm just gonna fiddle with the wheel a little bit, and then we're gonna go out for a ride. All right, I'll see you guys out there. Hey guys, good morning. We're currently in District 7 in Ho Chi Minh City. We are just, you know, I had some coffee with a few local riders, and you know, one of them was gonna show me around, you know, so give me some kind of pointers on where I can ride to kind of record the contents at the same time. The wheel is definitely nimble, that's for sure. So the street tire, as I said, when I unboxed the wheel, it is a 80/90/14. So I think this tire is a little too lanky for the wheel. It's definitely very carvy, very easy to ride, but I don't know, I feel like this wheel, when I start to go a little faster, that the tire it's not that stable. So I probably will be changing to a 90/90 Michelin tire. Yeah, you can also see that the tire have really strong gyro. When you turn, you have to kind of beat it into the turn. It's not going to turn willingly. Speed-wise, we're cruising about 35, 40 kilometers per hour. I did have to ride about like 2 miles to unlock the wheel. So the Kingsong have this mode, it's called the beginner mode, where you gotta watch the instructions, you gotta like read the manual, and then you gotta ride the wheel like consecutively for a certain amount of miles before it starts to let you, you know, up the tilt back speed limits. But you know, it is unlocked, and the wheel feels pretty good in terms of just power delivery. It is similar to how the S22 is. The wheel feels just really smooth, you know, accelerating from one side. But in terms of power delivery, I think this wheel feels just as smooth as the F22 Pro. It has really, really smooth power delivery, you know, from a standstill to, you know, like 40 kilometers per hour. It's just classic, you know, Kingsong power delivery at this point. They put a very heavy emphasis on just having a smooth experience over like punchy and powerful like Bigold or maybe like the Paranas. Seated riding wise, I want to show you guys on the top. So on the top, we just have flat plastic. And so it's not really grippy at all. But yeah, when you can see like I'm slipping and sliding all over on the top because it's just all plastic on here. So there's no traction when I sit on it. And so, you know, this wheel can definitely benefit from a seat. It's just like, but right now as it is, it's not really optimal to be riding seated. As far as I'm seeing it, the suspensions, it is the same as the F22 Pro. Like, it's not plush, but it's also like not overly stiff either. So in a way, it's actually pretty good. The suspensions on this F18 only allows rebound speed and preload. It does not have compressions like the veteran suspensions does. So it will take a little bit of experiments because as it is, the suspensions, it doesn't travel all the way. Okay, cup hop here. Yeah, it feels good. The wheel have definitely good amount of torque. We're just gonna be riding around. I guess he found us an open lot. Again, like this wheel, this tire have such a weird gyro. It gets carvy. Strong gyro mean like it's very easy to carve, but when you need to turn, it's not really willingly doing that. Okay, I think we're going. So you guys see me sitting down a lot, despite, you know, like sitting on this wheel is not optimal right now. I still sit a lot because I just like riding seated over here. You know, the average riding speed is not high, so I don't really feel the need to stand up and, you know, to have full control on the time. Cruising at like 30, 35 kilometers per hour, definitely don't need, you know, that extra control. Okay, I think we're going to, I think he's taking us to a more empty area. Whew, it's freaking hot. I think it's like 85 degrees out, but the humidity is just terrifying. The pet situation is like, I don't know. I think it's kind of like the S19 all over again, where they are designing the pads around the wheel, instead of designing the wheel to be compatible with all pads. And it's not something I'm going to agree with, but at least the stock pads that they have this time, it's very, very usable. You just have to put the pads a lot lower and further out, so like what I have here. And that's going to make the wheel like feels a lot better than, you know, having the pads upright. I have to admit though, this tire is very good for carving. It is very, very good for carving. You have a high leverage wheel, you have a thin tire, and that combines together makes it just a very carvy wheel. Turning this wheel while seated with this tire, no bueno. no bueno at all. It's like I have to use my upper body so much to get this wheel to turn. Okay, we're riding at about 50 kilometers per hour. Not really fast, so that's gonna get some air. Ooh, no, not really that much air. Drop. Yeah, the wheel feels good. It feels very, very stable. When I hit those bumps with my links in the past, I feel like there's a little bit of flex and, you know, like jittery in the wheel. With this F18, the wheel is just rock solid. Okay, he's set to go here. Ah, the smells. People dump trash over here. Oh, pineapple vendor. Even now you see like street vendors like that everywhere. Not EUC relevant, but you know, it's cool to get it on camera. Well, first stairs in 4 months. I haven't ridden down. Son? Yeah. I mean, it feels good. Yeah, this time from the back. It's nothing. I mean, this is so easy for this wheel. It's just how it is. It's so easy for this wheel. Yeah, so I think I got most parts about the wheel down at this point, just except like the super high speed test. I cannot really test it in the city. I have to probably wait until like late night to be able to find some empty road and just send it. Okay, guys, I just want to do a quick recap about my experience with the wheel before I send you guys off. And, I kind of drag on with this video this time, so yeah, sorry about that. But first, I forgot to disclose in the beginning of the video that this is my F18, which I bought for myself. However, Kingsong gave me a discount on the wheel so that I can purchase it and I can test it and give them feedbacks. So, this is your disclosure, basically. Like, I'm still paying for the wheel, but it's just like, it's not at the retail price. So yeah, guys, first impressions with the F18 is a pretty good one. Out of the box, the F18 is surprisingly rideable. The only thing that is a serious turn off for me about the F18 right now is the street tire that I have. This tire have way too strong of a gyro. It's too small for this wheel. So it's like the riding experience, all the negative feelings I have today, is all because of the tire. I think that once I change the tire to what I want, it's going to be pretty dang good of a wheel to ride. Now, speaking of tires, I do want to do something fun. I want to give you guys the option to choose, what tire I will put on this F18. And so far, I have narrowed down to 3 best options that I think will work best for this wheel. The first one is a good old Michelin Pilot Street 2. Easy to get around here. It's the same tire that you guys get in the US. The second one is a Michelin Anarchy Street. It is a hybrid tire. I've never seen this tire before, and I'm not sure how it performs, but it looks interesting. And the third option is a Pirelli Diablo Rosso Sport. Yeah, I'm sure many of you guys have not heard of that before, but I have. It's a very, very rare tire in the US. I heard it's a very, very good tire for, street riding and racing. All right, so that's about it for me, guys. I'm trying to keep this part short because I kind of overdid the other parts. Let me know what tire I should put on the wheel. And I'll get you guys an update with a full review of the F18 in probably a week or 10 days, whenever I can stay up long enough to go out and do a speed test. All right, and this is Tap, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.